Good morning, Ovid Middle School students. This is Mr. Woolley, and today we're going to be working on lesson 12, our division of integers. But before we start, we're going to make sure we go over our statement for any recorded content here at Ovid that the information contained in this video is intended to be viewed by only the students in Mr. Woolley's room, and by watching the video, you agree that you will not record or share the video with anyone who's not a student in Mr. Woolley's room. All right, so we have to say that nowadays, so I just wanted to make sure you get that out there. But for division of integers, we're not going to go through the whole lesson at all. We're going to hit the main points and call it good because it's the same rule that we follow with multiplication. So here's our rules for dividing two integers. A quotient, the answer to a division problem, is negative if the divisor and dividend have opposite or different signs. A quotient is positive if the divisor and dividend have the same signs. So, what do some of those words mean? Well, remember, we said quotient is your answer. The dividend is your number that you're going to split up. The divisor is how many ways you're going to split it up. So 40 divided by 8 is 5. If I want to set them up this way, 40 divided by 8 is 5 also. But it really follows the same rule as multiplication. If they have different signs, you're going to get a negative answer when you're dividing. If you get a positive answer, well, it's because they have the same signs. Either they're both negative or they're both positive. All right, so let's take a look at some examples that describe this. All right. Is the quotient of two integers always an integer? Well, an integer, remember, is a whole number. So if I took a negative 24 divided by 6, I get a negative 4. But if I spun it around the other way, 6 divided by negative 24, I get a negative 1/4, or negative 0.25 if you're into decimals. So, is it always an integer when we divide? No, because the first example has an integer quotient, negative 4, but the second example has a rational number quotient, negative 1/4. So remember, be careful with division. It's not like multiplication and addition where you can do it in whatever order you want. Division must be in a certain order, otherwise you're going to get different answers. So be careful with division. Now, they got three problems here next. I want to know if the answers to the three are the same. If I took a negative 14 divided by 7, they have different signs, so I know it's a negative answer, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. Similar here, I got 14 divided by negative 7. Well, there's one negative sign, so they have different types of signs, so it's a negative answer, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. So before you even do the math here, you can look and say, oh, one negative sign, negative answer. One negative sign, negative answer. But let's take a look at this one. Normally, we do the parenthesis work first. So I would do 14 divided by 7 first, and I get 2. But since there's a negative sign outside of the parentheses, that changes whatever you get inside here to its opposite. So due to the fact that there's a negative sign on the outside, remember, it changes the value inside the parentheses to its opposite. Your answer should have been a 2, but because that negative sign's out there, your answer is a negative 2. So are the answers of those three quotients the same or different? I would say they are all the same. All right. Now, just some other basic division facts here to play around with. Like if I have a positive divided by a negative, that's going to be a negative. There's one negative sign, makes it a negative answer. 25 divided by 5 is 5, so negative 5. Negative divided by negative, they both have the same sign, so it's going to be a positive answer. So negative 32 divided by negative 4 is a positive 8. Part C here, if I have a negative 63 divided by positive 7, there's one negative sign in the problem, so it's a negative answer. 63 divided by 7 is 9. And 54 divided by 9 is 6. So those have the same sign, they're both positive, so it's positive. So remember, if you have like B or D, where you have the same signs, you can get a positive answer. Or if you have opposite signs, positive divided by negative or negative divided by positive, that one negative sign will change your answer to a negative. All right, well, thank you for watching, and good luck on your practice in Schoology afterwards.